She Said, He Said is sponsored by Times Media Company and Lee Enterprises. Our show is recorded each week at Creative Space Place Studios in Hobart, Indiana.
You're listening to She Said, He Said with Karen and Jerry Davidge, a potpourri of everything that has to do with relationships and the baggage that comes with it, because there's a lot to unpack. Welcome to She Said, He Said with Karen and Jerry Davidge. I'm Karen, and this is Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again if you've been watching or listening to our podcast.
This is your first time? Nice to meet you.
It is
welcome.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, welcome to our little studio here at Creative Space Place in downtown Hobart.
Oh, it's quite lovely. And so on today's show, it is summertime. It's just the beginning of summer. School is just let out. Your kids have, they're starting their summer vacation. They come home. They dump out their backpacks. Poof.
Put all their paste, chalk,
they're
scissors,
all excited.
backpack,
The
books.
big drive from their way home. And now they're home. And now what?
Yeah, now
what do I do with these kids?
If you're a parent of kids of many ages, too. It's not just like 5-year-old, 6-year-old. It could be teenagers as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, what do you do now?
Yeah, I always had...
Anxiety?
Anxiety.
Really?
I sure did. Well, my kids, they didn't play summer sports. And they didn't go to,
so they just look at
band camp. Or
Mom,
they
what
didn't
are we
go to
gonna do,
space
Mom?
camp. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? So it was just a lot of calling for, can Sarah come over? Can Bob come over?
Oh, play dates.
Or
play
can your
dates.
kids come over and play with my kids, please?
Right. So if you're going
I
through
just
this,
hated doing that. But,
you got to do that.
you got to do it. What are we going to do?
We're here to help on She Said, He Said.
Yeah, do you
This
need some
week's
ideas? We have some for you.
We have some ideas, some tangible ideas, not just from us. They're from an organization called What to Do with the Kids. Since 2001.
Says it right there in the title.
Since 2001, What to Do with the Kids has been providing adults with advice on what they can do with their kids, especially throughout the summer. And we pulled it up, thought we'd share some with you, because I'm thinking of writing a column about this as well, because parents, at some point, they're just going to get desperate.
Yes.
Like, maybe they're good the first week. We're going to do this. We're going to go on vacation. We'll do that.
Oh,
but
right.
As the summer lingers and this, as She Said, He Said, this episode gets released in a week or two or so, people are going to be going, oh, my God, really?
Yeah.
What can we do with these kids?
Yeah, because not everyone is going to a big summer vacation.
Or a boarding school. Or summer.
Or no, they're not I'm not going to go to Spain, or I'm not going to go to the Grand Canyon, or I'm not going to go to Disneyland.
Home.
You're just going to be home.
And what are we going to do?
Exactly.
Here's some stuff you can do according to What to Do with Your Damn Kids. Maybe it's not damn. I threw that in. First and foremost, it says go to the beach.
Oh, you can never go wrong with the beach. Everybody loves going to the beach. Everybody.
No, I didn't.
Really?
No, just some fat little kid. I hated the beach.
And you lived by the beach.
I lived right by the beach, yeah.
Wow.
Didn't work out well for me. But
really?
No, I didn't like the beach when I was a kid.
Okay, but let's...
most people like the beach.
Let's fast forward to when you were a young dad.
Yeah. Oh, no, I loved the beach as a young dad. Yeah.
And why did you love the beach when you were a young dad?
Because you could let the kids just run free, do whatever you want, so to speak. I loved it. We'd go to West Beach, we'd go to local beaches, Portage Beaches, let the kids run around. You just make a camp, a little encampment.
I love making the camp.
You bring your cooler, you bring your stuff, you put weights on all the four corners, you bring a chair, you haul yourself. Karen looks like a pack mule.
Well, you got to bring all you got to bring the umbrella, you got to bring the chairs, you got to bring the bags.
Sandals, sunscreen.
Most important is sunscreen.
So either way, I liked it as a young dad. We'd go there, bring all this stuff, and then just kids play. At least a couple hours, and they got tired and hot, overheated, whiny, then you come home. But according to the group, it says it may seem like a trouble, but not if you keep it simple. Beach towel, beach toys, lots of sunscreens, all you really need. That's a good point,
absolutely.
isn't it?
And watch your kids, too, because you got to respect the lake. Got to respect the water.
Here comes the lecture. No, I know. It's not a bathtub. I've written this. Lake Michigan is not a bathtub.
It is not. It is not. It's not a swimming pool.
Yeah.
You got to respect that undertow. It'll suck you right in.
Number one, go to the beach. Number two, mini golf. I was surprised by
Mini golf.
Yeah, which I love miniature golf. Putt-putt. I love everything about it.
That's fun.
I love the
it's
experience.
Colorful.
It's colorful. I mean, it gets competitive with me. I'm kind of cutthroat with miniature golf. Well, I don't golf, like
Yeah.
real golf. I don't do that. So miniature golf is what I can do competitively, and it's fun to do. And then you take scores, right? And you can bet. We used to bet like $1 a hole, $5 for the game, and you can, if your ball goes off the course, it's an extra buck. I just love doing all that stuff. And,
yeah. Can I be a Debbie Downer?
oh, what's wrong with mini golf?
Nothing is wrong with mini golf, except when everybody goes mini golfing.
Oh, it does
and then
get
you gotta wait your turn.
You gotta wait. That is a
to
drag.
putt.
Yeah, that is a drag.
That's a bummer.
Okay. So maybe it shouldn't be too
I
on
have
the
a funny
list
story
about putt.
Yeah, well, it's not really about putt, but one year, my friend Stace and I went to miniature golf back in the 80s. It was the 80s.
Wait, you were like a teenager?
Yeah, I was a teenager, and we went there back when Zaire Island was called Wright's Barnyards. That's how far back we go.
I remember that name.
Yeah, and we were behind a couple on their first date. And it was the cutest, most adorable thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Because whenever he'd ask her a cute question, Stace and I would look at each other like, "Aw, so cute." So I always remember that. It's a good, if you don't want to take your kids there, take your date there. Yeah.
Putt-putt's a fun date.
It is. It's innocent and fun.
It is.
Except if you're with somebody who's really, really competitive.
She's talking about me. Because we went out once, and when we first got together, we played air hockey.
Yeah.
And I didn't know she wasn't competitive.
I'm not competitive at all.
She's just going click, 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 and I'm like killing it,
You're like, you're going down.
Yeah.
Like, where? All right.
Air hockey's not on the list, by the way. Number 3, bowling. You like taking
Bowling?
kids bowling in the summer?
Yeah.
It's good reprieve for the air conditioning, if anything.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you got a
And
hot
if it's
day,
a rainy day.
yeah, any kind of bad weather, go bowling. Otherwise,
And get bumpers on those lanes so
who doesn't
everyone's a winner.
they all get bumpers, don't they?
Not always. You have to
Most
specially
bowling alleys
ask.
have lanes with bumpers. Even
No,
this
you
says
have to
this.
specially ask, and I have bumpers
Of
on
course.
the lanes.
Well, they go up automatically now, right? They pop
Well,
up.
I know, but you have to ask the
No,
guy.
I know that. Yeah, you just can't do it.
You
just can't
like pull up
self-activate
these
something, right?
bumpers
Number 4, play catch, which really surprised me on this list.
That just seems very
It does. It's
basic.
it's the one thing that movies like to use as the only activity Dad never did with the hero of the story, but it doesn't have to be forced or organized. It can be spontaneous. Just play a football, a beach ball, tennis ball.
Oh, yeah.
Or my favorite catch?
Frisbee.
Frisbee. I'll play Frisbee. Me and a dog. We can be there for 3 hours, and we'll both chase the Frisbee back and forth. I'll even catch it in my mouth if I have to. I love playing Frisbee. So
Another story about playing catch. One day when my kids were small, and Jerry says, "Oh, okay, well, let's play like a 4-way catch or something." Of course, Bob and Sarah fought, and then we didn't do it anymore.
yeah, so sometimes our catch lasted about 15 minutes, maybe 12.
Sarah said something that Bob was doing that was unfair, and that was
It was off, gone. You've probably done that. If you're a parent, you
Oh,
have
yeah,
the
you-
best ideas,
Oh,
best ideals,
yes.
best plans. You do things with kids, and then just
But
something.
one kid gets
That's it.
a little bit more of something, and now it's unfair.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't play catch then.
No, do play catch.
Okay.
With a Frisbee.
How about explore your city? A lot of people grow up in a city and never take the sites seriously. I mean, we kind of forget what we have in Northwest
Yes.
Indiana. We really forget.
Oh, we have a lot of
So
great
the summer
things.
gives parents a good opportunity to get your kids out and show them things that you thought they knew or you knew, but you really don't.
Yeah.
Like even Lake Michigan, for instance, for us.
And the trails.
And the
they're
dunes,
gorgeous.
get them on the
Yeah.
dunes, that kind of. There's a lot of things in Northwest Indiana, which we'll have on a future show of what you can do. Stuff that you don't know about in Northwest Indiana, you should know about.
You know it's too bad, and I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but I
But
will.
that's what we do here.
It's too bad they don't have the Dillinger Museum anymore.
Oh yeah, they used to have it in the old
In the Indiana Welcome Center, and that
on
was
Kennedy Avenue in Hammond, right? And then they moved
love
it to
that
Crown
one. Mm-hmm.
Point, downtown Crown Point, in the bottom, like in the jail part.
Yeah,
or whatever,
that
right?
was cool too.
Karen loved that too, and now nothing. It's gone.
I know it's a
Yeah,
shame,
it
but
is a
that
shame.
was a hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Ugh, love
And
that
kids would
place.
like that too. You took the kids there, right?
Took the kids there a
Yeah,
lot.
She took me there too.
I
yeah.
did. Anybody that
Anybody should take.
I
the
took
for
anybody
sure.
I love to the Dillinger Museum. So you may not be able to go to the Dillinger Museum,
No.
but you can always take tours of the jail that Dillinger escaped from. No. Don't listen to him.
Oh,
no,
boy.
shush.
boy.
No. It's very interesting. It's
Very
the
interesting.
actual jail where he escaped from. And then at night, during like the Halloween season, they open it up for ghost tours.
We did do that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off?
Biking.
Biking.
Biking,
That's
yes.
great exercise.
Yeah, usually kids will do it naturally, but getting together with parents and kids, and I know we have a couple of friends who are just starting to bike with their kids these days, and I think it's really cool adventures to do because
too.
you go on the bike trails. There's trails all over. They're
Oh,
expanding it in Northwest
we have
Indiana.
the best trails in
And-
this region.
And we do love our bike trails, so we would
We
highly
do.
suggest get a kid out there.
Yeah.
You could
And they're
bike
safe.
anywhere.
Th-
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
great thing
important
about
thing.
the bike trails. They're safe. You don't have to worry about cars.
generally.
Yeah,
there are crossings.
There are crossings, but for the most part, it's just safe. They're
whatever
flat,
community you
and they're
live in.
beautiful. So there you go.
Yeah, get the kids out and bike. It's a fun thing to do. Plus, it's not as exerting as you go walk somewhere. Oh, by the way, we did see a family going on a bike ride, and they went too far out, and the kid was having none of it to get back. This was last week, and he was having none of it to get back with the family.
No.
He would just stop there.
Yep.
I'm not going any further. What do you do then? You got to get back somehow. You can't carry the bike. So don't go too far out. That's our advice.
Yes.
Bike with the kid. Just go a little distance. Don't,
Yeah, don't go from like Crown Point to East Chicago.
And go, we'll come back.
I know.
We've done that. You won't come back. The kids won't like it. Swimming.
Oh, I love swimming.
She's a water person. I'm not.
I love
I'm
swimming. Swimming is the
scared of
best.
Swimming.
Swimming.
Scared of water. Generally.
You just add water and
almost
everyone's
drowned.
happy. I tell you what. What?
I almost drowned. I said, but
Would you like to share that story with us?
We went to the
Hub pool.
Hub pool in Crown Point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just public pool, and I don't do public pools too often anyway. But I went in the water. Karen's like flipper. She's like just
Flipper.
Yeah, flipper. She just loves to swim. She's
love
really
it.
good at it. I'm not at all. I'm always paranoid and frantic that I'm not gonna survive. But I went in the water. I'm splashing around like the kids kind of stuff, and. And they have those little floaties on top that divides the water, right?
Yeah, from the deep end to the
Yeah,
shallow.
exactly. So I got on and I just held on to the floaty going, oh, I'm good. And then at some point, I could not feel the bottom, and I just thought it was still there. I thought I was still in the 4-foot or 5-foot section, and I was in the 8 or the 9.
Yeah.
And I went under.
Oh.
And I could not feel that floaty thing, and I don't swim well, and I panicked. So, of course, I immediately bobbed up and looked for my savior, my rescuer, my flipper. She's going to save my life in the pool. She did not see me.
No.
I was frantically splashing around looking for someone. Lifeguard didn't
Anybody.
care. The lifeguard was some kid. He thought I'm doing fine because I'm just some adult, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't fine at all. So that was like an experience like, oh, my God.
We'll always remember Hub Pool.
Yeah, and I'll never go past that little floaty thing, past the 8 or 9 foot, whatever it might be.
So whenever... And one of the things that I love to do, and you may find is very strange, but I do love public pools. Like I love the Hobart pool, the Couts pool, the Lake Station pool. I don't care. I love the Munster pool. I do love public pools. It's something like from my childhood. And so if you ever see us at a public pool, you'll see Jerry hanging out in the kiddie section.
Oh, for sure. And just sitting and
Trying
reading.
to throw a Frisbee at some kid that'll throw it back to him.
Or a dog.
I know.
I'm not in the water very often.
Yeah,
That's so
true.
true. Also, this reminds us to bring pool noodles, boogie boards, beach balls, and life jackets if needed.
You know, the big thing I see now are those huge floaty rafts in the shape of unicorns or pineapples.
They're massive, too.
They're massive.
I need 2 of those, please. And 2 life jackets.
You know, they tell you when you go to, let's get back to the beach, like don't bring those to the beach because...
Oh, they'll sail away to Chicago.
Yeah,
right?
you'll wind up on Montrose Beach,
Yeah.
and...
No, they're for pools only.
They're for,
Public
pools. Public pools. So.
Or for me, a backyard pool. Can't get too far.
Yeah.
Can't get too deep. We don't
One of
get
those
too
little
far.
kiddie pools.
That's me.
Yes.
Feet overhanging. Okay, so swimming is one. Backyard party. Why not host a party just for the heck of it? Make up a reason. Invite some kids over. Invite some families if you want. You could have it says, so you could celebrate International Pickle Day.
Don't invite me to that one.
She doesn't like pickles.
No.
Doesn't have to be fancy, organized. Just get a bunch of people together and hang out and bring the kids.
I think our neighbors do that.
And kids look forward to that. It's a big deal. And you
Yeah.
can have a whole day section off. And the good thing
that's
about
fun.
doing things with kids is if you tell them in advance, they look forward to it. Now they're going to drive you crazy.
Oh yeah,
leading up
is it
to
time? Can we go? Can we do it?
But
Is it
they
time?
also look excited for it. And,
Yes, that's
and waiting
very
for it.
true.
And that's a factor like a vacation. You not only experience the vacation, you experience leading up to the vacation.
The
Same thing with
anticipation.
exactly. So the anticipation for kids. Same thing with the summer stuff. Just
Yeah,
make a
they
little calendar.
make a little party.
Hang a calendar in your
Yeah.
house. Say we're gonna do this on this Sunday and this on that Thursday and this and that, and they can look forward to it.
Like
They'll
if you're-
circle it and look forward to
Like
it.
if your child has a winter birthday, and you could always have a half birthday party for them in the
Yeah,
backyard,
right.
something like that.
Winter birthday parties, what a drag. Now here's one I don't really agree with. It's called Fly a Kite, number
Yeah, I
12,
know
I think,
about
at number
that.
10.
I've never
Fly
flown a
kite.
kite.
That's horrible. Usually you give it a go. The wind, if it may be there, then the kid's bored after like 3.5 minutes. The kite goes up, boom, spirals down, hits, breaks. I don't know about the whole fly a kite thing, but this is what the organization suggests. So if you want to
That's
try to fly a
something,
kite,
yeah.
then go fly a kite.
Go fly a kite.
But I don't think it's going to work. Campfire.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Really? I don't put campfires together, but I like when somebody has it already done.
Yes.
You just walk in, they got a
And
campfire
there it is,
going.
got some
Here,
marshmallows.
Have some marshmallows. Have a
Yes.
stick. You want to make a s'more? Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great.
Our neighbors do that. They have a fire
Yes.
pit. We've been known to infiltrate
You
their
got to have the
backyard.
right people in your life to pull this stuff off. You have to
Yeah.
have neighbors and friends and family because we don't do anything. We're really lazy.
Yeah, and lame. But you know what's the worst
not
part about a
skilled.
campfire is that you get the smoke like kind of blowing up in your face, and you try to go to the opposite side of the
And
camp.
the
Oh,
wind
it's
catches you
following you.
again. Yeah.
But other than that, they're fun.
Makes you smell good though. Here's what I
Oh,
like.
yes.
Sidewalk and driveway chalk drawings.
Yes,
That's
we've
something I
done
enjoy
that
because
a
I've always
lot.
enjoyed drawing since I was a kid. I got into the business I'm in now because of cartooning. So that's just fun to do. And every kid loves to draw. Even if they can't draw, they
Yeah.
like to pretend.
Or they can make messages.
Yeah, they could do doodles. They could do whatever. So get a bunch of that big sidewalk chalk. Keep it in the garage all summer
Yes.
long, and kids can go out there, and then the rain will wash it away. You can have a new
Start again.
They have a new blank canvas every day.
That's a
So-
great idea.
So try that all the time. Also, a photo essay. Photo essay is just a fancy way to get kids to take photos with their phones if they have phones, and you could judge it and put a gallery together.
I like that.
I did
idea.
too. I never thought of that. And of course, when we were younger, we couldn't do it with our cameras. It was way too expensive. Then you go to a photo mat and try to get it developed. You get one good photo out of like 35.
Wasn't
you
that the
submit it.
worst? That was the worst.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves
Ugh.
there. How about outdoor movie? I was thinking of my niece and her husband Carly and Brent. They had an outdoor movie for their son Elliot, and it was delightful.
It was the
They had a
best.
screen. They had the movie. They had a little
We had
popcorn
little tiny
thing
little
going,
blow-up
hot
chairs for the
dogs.
kids.
Yeah.
They had because the theme was like drive-in movie, and the movie was Toy Story. Can't get any better than that. And they just stuck to their theme. That like little wrapped up hamburgers, little wrapped up hot dog, little popcorn,
Yeah,
and
so
candy.
pick
It
a
was
favorite
so
movie,
fun.
pick a winner, or pick a new one, or pick both. Have a double feature, and even if the kids get bored halfway in, which they'll probably do,
Yeah.
you just start up a new movie,
Yeah.
and they get just as excited. Sit down, the movie's gonna start.
Yes,
that kind of thing,
that's
right?
so much fun.
Yeah, you could pick a night, let it kind of go into the evening. So.
Which I know I don't think it's on there, but also a drive-in movie. They
Oh
have the
my God, I
49er
forgot
in
about that.
Valparaiso.
Karen loves the drive-in
I
movies.
love a good drive-in movie. I love it. I used to take my kids all the time.
At the 49er?
At the 49er. And they loved it. We loved it. We didn't stay for I think you get 3 movies
You
for the
do.
price of
You
one.
can get there early and stay
Oh,
all
yeah. And
night
it's
long.
really a cool party if you get there early
Go
enough to see
on
people.
down to the concession stand.
Like, let's all, oh, soon.
It'll come out later.
It'll come out later at the end of the
the
show.
concession stand. That's a fun thing to do, though.
See, now
Yeah.
that's
Then you
gonna
honk the
bug me.
horns.
Oh yeah, they
right?
have this song where you're supposed to honk the horns, and then they have this PSA to save all the drive-in movie theaters in America, and it's kind of sad
It is
and
kind of
spooky,
sad.
but
Drive-in
it's like
theaters are kind of sad.
yeah, they said we make our money by concessions, so please
Eat a
buy
hot
it.
dog,
Eat
take
a
some
hot dog, get
popcorn.
get these alien head glow in the dark lollipops, which I'd buy my kids. Oh, I know the song now. It's like,
What?
let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby
And
and get
spend all of our
ourselves
money.
a snack.
Oh,
There you go.
Nice.
That was a little pitchy.
She does
but-
voiceover promos, obviously.
But anyway, no, the drive-in is fun, and then you can sit and you can bring your own snacks. You just set up this great big bed
I've
in the
never
back
been
of your
to
car.
a drive-in movie theater that looked nice. They all look pretty beat up and crappy.
Oh no, the 49er is very nice.
Is it very nice?
Yeah.
Oh, how about remember the old Y&W in
Yeah,
Maryville?
I remember the old one.
That was old school. That was the first one I ever saw. I saw Patton. Whenever I know that's how old that laugh, guffaw, gasp was that Karen just did.
I went
That's
with I had these friends.
I didn't see the real Patton. It was the movie.
No,
Patton.
I know
Oh,
that.
Okay. Okay.
I know. I went to. Okay, this just says the era that we.
America
grew up.
loves a winner,
And
they
so
won't tolerate a loser.
I went with my friend Amy and her family, and so they had this great big van. Everybody had a van, and so this is how we lived in the 70s. So their parents let us sit on top of the van and watch the movie.
That is super cool.
It's like
no safety hazard.
nothing on top of a big old van.
You'll
You have
be
these
fine.
kids who were like 5, 6, 7. We're just watching the Apple Dumpling Gang or whatever dumb movie we were.
What were the parents doing inside the van?
I don't know. Smoking grass.
I think so. They're probably getting high. Kids are fine. We're
Yeah,
good.
that was
Have a
like
good
we
time.
sat on the top of the. Can you imagine?
It was the 70s. Or
It
wait, was it the 80s for you?
No, it was the 70s.
It was the 70s.
The 70s, yeah.
Don't mock me for seeing Patton in the 80s. I was just a kid.
That was that the 70s?
60s, I guess. I don't know when it
We'll
was.
Google it. We'll figure it out. But George C. Scott won the Academy Award for that movie, and he didn't show up to get his award.
There you go. Well, trivia here on She Said, He Said. One last one. We'll finish up. Water slide. If
If you can't go to a water park, Get a water slide.
Well, everybody had a
slip and
slip and slide when you were a kid. The sprinkler thing, just add water to a yard and you have fun. There's a house in Hobart that we pass every year on 4th of July, and they have a hill.
If
and
you
they
know
do
what
this,
I'm talking
they
about.
do this long slip and slide. We see it every time we go into Hobart for whatever reason, and every time Karen says, a kid's going to die.
Because they're
going to
slide right
into
into traffic. They're going to slide right into Cleveland
Avenue. And they never
Avenue.
do. Not once. Hasn't happened once, obviously.
Some kid's going to get some inertia under his body and shoom, right into traffic.
No.
Every year I say that.
Sometimes she could really be a Karen. Yeah. So
one thing about these water slides, and it's another thing. I'm such a Debbie Downer. I am so sorry, folks, but I do mean well. But I'm just like a PSA for everybody. When you buy these water slides and these little backyard water pools and fountains and things like that, never believe the box cover. It makes it seem like they're huge.
Oh,
they're not.
Oh, you
they're
bring it out, it's like
small.
4 feet long or something?
Yeah, when you buy these little inflatable pools, inflatable bounce houses and stuff, and it looks like
That's just false advertising.
They're huge. They're like they're 50 feet tall. They're not.
And they're not.
They're not.
And the slide's like 4 feet, and an adult can just go to the end and it gets stuck in the grass and fall over. I've done that.
I would pay to see that.
What to Do with Your Kids is based on the 2001 self-published book by Brian Presley.
2001, that's 22 years old.
It doesn't matter. That's all timeless. It's based on the book. It's based on the book is what it is.
You're right.
So it's based on a self-published book. Either way, he was a camp counselor, youth worker, program director. If you want to check it out, you can go on social media, Facebook, to What to Do with Kids, or Instagram or Twitter. Check it out. It's kind of good ideas, and you could use them anytime you want through the rest of the summer.
And these are all very inexpensive ideas, too.
If I get rid of the kids and go back to school, to the best babysitter in the world. What's
start?
The best babysitter in the world?
School.
Bye.
You know my favorite.
Next up on She Said, He Said, I wrote a column recently that got a lot of reader responses, a lot of traction, and a lot of from people who I didn't expect to hear from. I thought they were going to complain to me, is my point.
Really?
Well, yeah, like who were you to give advice? I did a column that giving advice to graduates from high school or graduates from college. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 22, just some general advice that I gleaned, so to speak, through the years. And I wish somebody would have told me this at that age. And of course, nobody did, and that's why my life turned out like it did. But either way, it all got prompted by Karen and I were going for a bike ride in Valparaiso High School parking lot, and we saw quite a few parking spaces with chalk drawings, which we just mentioned earlier on the show.
They let some of the seniors decorate their parking spaces, and they were quite clever, quite creative, and very funny.
Yeah, and artistic as well.
Yes.
One said, for instance, "Where'd all the time go?"
Right.
Which I love that for an 18-year-old to say that. Ready to spread my wings and fly.
Yes.
Long story short, I survived. And later dudes.
And it was Crush from Finding Nemo.
Oh, right. So they all had themes, too.
Yes.
We were very impressed by it. So what I did is created in a column some of these billboards, because it was about parking spaces. I used a theme of driving and parking, getting a free space in life, like a Monopoly board.
Yes.
Because I view
very, very creative.
I view adolescence in a way as a free parking spot for people. I mean, we give teens and give them,
Yes.
and then they just forget that we do all this stuff for teenagers, So
Oh,
it's their free space in life, and they don't realize it until they're off that free space, and they got to get stuff done, and they got to start paying and doing things and adulting, and then they realize, I was on a free space for the last 4 years, and they didn't even know it. So one of the billboards was, "Your youth is your superpower. Use this superpower to your advantage. You have decades ahead of you, statistically speaking, and you have no idea how young these kids have no idea how young they really actually are." I mean, we talked to, Karen's daughter, my stepdaughter Sarah. She's 21 now. Her son is 23. Bob, especially.
No, 24.
He just turned 24 in May, right? He just thinks he's so older because he's almost a quarter century old. And I work with some people at work, and they're in their early 20s, and they do think they're certain old enough. But in the bigger picture,
they're not.
They're so young, and they don't realize that. And I try to convey to them repeatedly how young you are, and the best advantage you have in life is your time.
Yes.
Is your youth. You have decades. They have decades ahead of them. Literally decades. Like I said, statistically speaking. Can't guarantee anything, kids. But you should be living more decades. So keep that in mind and do things. And what I suggested is also, don't waste your time. Like, show up, listen up, shut up. Those are my 3 words. Sometimes kids don't. They don't listen. They talk too much, and they don't show up. So listen up, shut up, show up. That was the first billboard. Second billboard is go away from wherever you were raised. I mean, I wish I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was in a family business. Then I got married young. I had 2 kids. I didn't go anywhere. I was just hunkered down. But go away and see the world, see things, and then come back if you want to, right?
Right.
You can see anything. Go to college, go for a travel trip, do a road trip, do a backpacking thing with friends, go anywhere. Just leave wherever you're at, go away, and then come back. Check it out with a new set of eyes, fresh eyes. And if you still want to stick around, then you don't feel stuck the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Like the Godfather draws you in. That's my second billboard. Also, next billboard, escape from the echo chambers of like-minded opinions. It's so easy to do. You get stuck with certain groups and cliques. I know people our age who are still in the same cliques in a way in their head, and they gravitate toward those same cliques they had in high school.
Yeah.
And that's
you're
startling
so
and sad
right.
and interesting, and they haven't left that dynamic.
No.
They can't do it. They act the same. It's like kids at a kindergarten table for lunch hour or something. And they haven't left that mentality.
It's
it just
quite
hasn't
exhausting.
left them. So you probably have maybe friends or coworkers who are like that too. So I'm telling kids today, like, leave those echo chambers, leave those cliques, leave all that. Just cut the tie. It's okay. You don't have to have your high school history attached to you. You could always revisit it. You could bring it back and go to your reunions, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year. This week, I talked to a guy who's having a 50-year anniversary for Valpo High School. It's the first Valpo High School at the new school, I think, something like that.
Okay.
But that's a long time, right?
It is.
So when you're younger, you got to think bigger. You don't think so small. Also, don't claim to be different and free-spirited and individualistic, and then you copy exactly what your friends and peers are doing.
Yeah.
That happens to all of us. We all got stuck in that trap as teenagers.
Of course.
We think we're cool and this and that, and we're just exactly alike.
Like everybody else.
And sometimes we pass kids and interact with them, and we look and we go, wow, I didn't even notice it when I was doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like everyone else. I want to fit in, but then I claim to be individualistic and different.
Yeah.
Right? Is that unfair of us
That's
to
a
say?
conundrum, isn't it?
That sounds unfair to me to say that. And also, the world may be at your fingertips, literally through electronic devices.
Exactly.
Like anything you want. You have a magic box, like
Yes.
right here. You can click anything you want right now, any information, anything in the world, it seems like, right? But despite that, it still comes down to face-to-face interactions with people. I mean, that is the
Yes, so
important thing. I think kids don't realize this, and they need
don't,
to be
and they just
reminded
come
of
off
this.
like doofuses. You know what I mean? I mean,
We just had a personal interaction with a teenager.
With a doofus.
That's what she's referring to. We can't name the doofus.
oh God, no.
But we just had this interaction.
And
That's what she's thinking about.
Yeah,
it is
it's
true.
like, oh God, and you
Like
know,
he wasn't
not
taught
that
the value of
like
human
not that
relations.
my kids are, eloquent.
No, it's all part of the
speakers.
teenage tunnel. We're not
It
blaming the
is.
kid.
No,
We're saying
it's
this is
they're just a
it's
teenage
just adolescence.
doofus.
Yeah, it's just adolescence, and they just don't realize how they're coming across. I was trying to remind them with this. Last one: waste less time on mindless TikTok videos, for instance, and focus more time on the TikTok sounds of the clock countdown of their future.
Yes, that is so brilliant.
It's the truth, though. I mean, how many people just scroll? We all do it. Scroll. How much time are you wasting?
Oh,
as
tons
opposed
of
to time
time.
they could actually invest in something. I wish somebody taught me this when I was younger. Invest my time more wisely. I never invested money. That's why I have no money. But I didn't invest my time well either. And that's something that anybody can do, but especially kids and especially grads, because they're leaving, they're launching off point, right?
Yes.
New horizons, new chapters.
And Jerry has a rant. What's going on, Jerry? What's on your mind?
Oh, the last rant I had was open houses. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Of being invited to an open house, and I never met the kid before,
Yeah,
right, and giving
that's
money.
tough.
This is about fitting rooms at clothing stores for women, but they don't care about guys. These places just treat when you want to invite me to this experience, make it an experience, not just a shopping excursion. Like Karen goes in the fitting room, right? Try clothes on at all these either boutiques or chain stores, retail shop. They leave me nothing. I don't have a seat, and if I do, it's crowded. There's nothing to do. They don't make care. There's hangers all around. I mean, they should cater more to the men who go with their spouses or their partners to these fitting rooms and make it a little nicer for them. Give them some space. Give them a nice seat. Give them a seat. Right? You see that's unfair? Isn't that the smart way to go? No? I see guys next to me. We're all just standing there looking at our phone. Give herself the nod.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sup.
No, you're right.
Yeah, she's coming out in a minute. Yeah.
The waiting room, the fitting rooms in the Valparaiso Pennies have TVs and chairs.
Really?
They do.
Oh, I'm used to other ones where there's like...
there's nothing.
There's nothing at all. I'm just standing there. I have to find a corner. Then I'm in the way. Then I get stuck like in a bra section, and I feel awkward. And I go, where'd Karen go? She was just here a second ago. And the lady looks at me and go, I don't see you with some woman. And I go, oh, I know. She was here a second ago. Where do I stand? Where do I sit? I just feel awkward. And
You're right. You've got a point there.
They should make it more accommodating for the guys who are coming there with women to do some shopping. Because we're going to all spend our money together, right? And it makes the experience better.
Oh, it does. And so if the guy's comfortable and you're your ladies comes out like, how do I look, babe?
And they also put cheater mirrors in some of these places.
There's a boutique in Valparaiso, which I do love, and I have shopped there many, many times. They have a skinny mirror
Everybody
in there.
looks good in these mirrors.
It's a skinny mirror.
It's brilliant.
It's not fair.
It's brilliant marketing because
I've
in
been
that
sucked
moment,
into buying stuff that I thought looked good on
mirror,
me.
it looks so good. We all look good. I could just now I'll stand in front of that mirror and wait for Karen. But not all stores have these fake. What was it called? Mirror?
A skinny mirror.
Exactly. So they should have.
Not fair.
Not fair at all. But those do exist.
But it's brilliant because, like I said, I've walked out with many an outfit that I thought looked good on me, and I get home, I'm like, this looks awful.
And I've stood next to many a mirror just waiting on my phone, waiting for Karen to come out. Then, as you know, your spouse comes out, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever comes out, and then you have to give them the nod. And are you honest with that nod at that moment? Or do you kind of like, you look good, honey, right? What do you say? I mean, am I pretty honest?
I don't know.
See,
Sometimes
that's
I
my
think
point.
you're
Are you honest
biased.
with your spouse, with your girlfriend? Do you really say how you feel, like, oh, you look great? Or do you kind of be, or brutally honest, say, you know what, that doesn't look so good on you. It doesn't flatter you like it should. Mm-hmm. Or, I don't know, if somebody was telling me, like when I was coming out, they'd say, Jerry, you look like a sausage squeezed into a casing. Take that off. Don't ever put it on again.
It's not very becoming on you.
Simple as that. So that's another dilemma that guys have with these fitting room experiences.
Because some guys aren't as careful with their words or like you are.
What would they say?
Some guys you look fat in that.
Oh, ouch.
I mean,
really?
some men are very brutal with their significant others.
That's just to save money. That's a cost-cutting measure, guys.
I guess, but I hate.
We're not going to buy that dress.
Ugh, that's tired. That's
bad. Another conundrum at fitting rooms. That's the rant of the week. Okay, so on She Said, He Said, we broaching everything involving relationships and couplehood dynamics between the sexes.
Friendships, family.
And what we forget, there's so many other factors that come into play with relationship. We didn't even realize it when we started the podcast. Mm-hmm. But every time we do it, we hear from readers and viewers and listeners, and they give us an idea for something else.
Oh, yeah. It's
so
fun.
on future upcoming episodes soon, we're going to have a police officer's firsthand perspective of responding to calls of domestic disputes. This is when relationships go bad, and cops are usually the first one to the tip of the spear. They have to be there and respond to these things.
Yes.
So we're having a police officer coming in to the studio here and talk to us about his experiences of what it is when they actually get a call, and they have to break up arguments and domestic disputes between two people who love each other and they want to get back together. And the cop will go back a week or two later and they're back together again after getting in a major fight and calling 911. Mm-hmm. So there's always a darker side. And of course, you could always count on Jerry to bring up the darker side of anything as opposed to Karen. She's the cotton candy part of the organization. Yeah, and I'm the dark. But I was curious what cops have to respond to. So he'll be on an upcoming show. Also, marriage therapist. We're going to invite a marriage therapist on the show soon to talk about the issues that couples have to go through, whether you're married or not, because therapy is important.
It is
and
very
huge.
important. And if you have any questions, you can submit them to us via Facebook, and we can ask this professional.
Yeah, I'm curious myself, and I have a few questions too. Mm-hmm. Also, one more, the complex topic of child adoption.
Yes.
We're going to have a colleague of mine, Mark Chase, will be on the show soon, and he has 2 adopted children, 2 biological children, I believe.
Yes.
And everything it takes to pull that off, to make it happen.
Right.
And I'm just fascinated by these parents who can do that.
Yeah, and I think in Mark's case, he kind of started all over again because his 2 biological sons are in college now,
Already,
right?
yeah.
And his 2 adopted children are, they're quite young.
Wow. So we're going to talk to him about the complexities of adoption. Mm-hmm. One last thing, we're also going to have a pastor named Greg Lee from Suncrest Christian Church in St. John be on the show, talk about faith and family and how to how to wrap those together. And a lot of families are being divided apart. And I'm curious how it works to keep a family together through faith, through Jesus, through all that. And he's going to help educate us on that because I never did that personally, and I'm curious about it. So look forward to those coming up soon on
She Said, He Said. Please stay
He
tuned. And we want to thank our listeners and our viewers. And we really appreciate all the time that you take to listen to our little show. Any feedback, again, we appreciate it so much. And
we hope you follow, subscribe,
and
get
like.
back with us, and check us out on all the platforms. Omni, Odyssey,
iHeart,
Apple,
Google,
and of course NWI.com to watch us visually if you care. Or if you're driving in the car, just listen to us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Have a great week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to She Said, He Said with Karen and Jerry Davich, sponsored by Times Media Company and Lee Enterprises, and recorded at Creative Space in downtown Hobart. Find us at nwi.com and where you find all your podcasts.
If you enjoy our show, we hope you return with your own viewpoints about couples, relationships, and the subtle or not so subtle differences between spouses, mates, partners, and potential partners. We welcome your opinions, your experiences, and especially your love lessons.